Welcome to Pelham, Alabama here as the High Point University Panthers will take on the Alabama Frozen Tide here in the Pelham Center in Pelham, Alabama. I am Luke here with Graham Tucker. And Graham, we have a rematch here from last night between two teams that really went at it last night.
Yeah, it was a very complete game for the Panthers all the way from the start to the finish. They scored 25 seconds in to jump out to an early lead. Unfortunately, the lead would not last long, and it would be their only lead of the game. But a 6-4 loss for the Panthers against the number 11 ranked team in AAU D3. That is a huge accomplishment and something that they can hopefully build on going into the game tonight.
And talking about accomplishments, Grady Murphy last night having a really big game. 2 goals, had the first goal to start out, and then had another one later on in the game.
Yep, the lines are going to look very similar to last night. The only difference is that Steven DiFilippo is out and Alex Connors is in the goaltending position, but Grady Murphy, that first line center, continuing his goal scoring. In the last 2 games, he's got 4 goals, 2 in each contest, and now he's tied for the team leading goals with 7. The team also kicked it up a notch with the goal scoring last night. They scored more goals last night than in the previous 3 games combined. So that is a huge momentum booster coming into this game this afternoon.
And talk about accomplishments, talk about just big-time plays. Zach Podolsky last night, the goalie, you mentioned that a little bit earlier. Podolsky had a really good game last night. He had 54 saves on the night, and 59 total shots were taken at him.
Yep, that was a huge performance from him. A new career high in saves and save opportunities. So a huge chance for him. He's going to be in the starter's crease again today. So we got to see how he plays in game 2. He faced a lot of rubber last night. Got to see if he can hold up to it again today. But he was one of the biggest keys to that performance last night for the Panthers in the loss.
And so we talked about some individual performances with Grady Murphy and Podolsky, but overall as a team, the team did a really good job with the penalty kills. Alabama was 0-for-4 last night in man-up opportunities.
Yep, and that's no small accomplishment because Alabama is a team that has been scoring goals ad nauseum this season. They've scored 5 or more in 8 of their 11 games so far this year. Of course, they put up 6 last night, so that one falls into line with the trend as well. But going 4-for-4 on the kill against a team that can score as easily as Alabama can, that is a huge accomplishment and a great way to start the special teams battle in 2024.
Now, obviously, Alabama has a lot of high-octane offense, but for their 6 goals, 5 of them last night were scored by the top line. Reese Galata had a hat trick last night, and Kellen McGarry had 2 more as well. So 5 of their 6 goals came from 2 guys, and 5 of them obviously came from 1 line. So.
Yep. And watching the game last night, you guys didn't get to see it because of the technical difficulties, but with the cameras back today, you'll get a chance to see that top line, Kellen McGarry, Connor Plamondon, and Reese Galota. That's numbers 7, 9, and 91 respectively. Those guys are clearly the leaders of this Alabama Frozen Tide offense, and for them to be able to win again today, they've got to have that top line clicking, but on the other side, if High Point can shut down that top line, you got to like their chances today in this afternoon tilt.
100%, have got to feel really good about last night's performance if you're High Point.
Yeah, and that will be something that we look into with this game today. The top line for Alabama was clicking, but for High Point, this is the first time in the first weekend that they've been able to dress 4 full forward lines in a while, and so the depth is something that really shone for the High Point Panthers yesterday. You have the 2 goals from Grady Murphy, 1 from Will Pyatt, who was on the 4th line to start the game, and then another one from Joe Marchiota, who was also on the 4th line with the 2 assists to Cam Sanderson and Will Pyatt. So Pyatt, a 2-point performance, and Sanderson getting back in the scoring column. So that'll be a huge thing as this game goes along. How will the depth scoring be there for Alabama versus High Point?
And that is going to be a huge factor in today's game between the Panthers and the Frozen Tide. We will see how it'll come into play. I'm Luke Lee here with Graham Tuck. We'll be back here in a little bit. And welcome back here to the Pelham Center here in Pelham, Alabama. Our High Point Panthers traveling to Pelham to take on the University of Alabama Frozen Tide in a rematch of last night's matchup between these two teams. I'm Luke Lee here with Graham Tuck here. And Graham, we've got a really good game here on our hands.
Yep, and it looks like we've got some line shakeups. We showed you it was the same lines as last night, but that's not looking to be the case. It'll be the same D pairings and goalie that started the game yesterday for High Point, Cole Ringstad, Drew Schleibner, and Zach Podolsky. But on the forward line, it's going to be Ian Brown, Joey Riggio, and Jonathan Gorski who start the game. All three of those guys were on different lines during the game yesterday, so we'll see how the rest of the lines shake up as this game goes along.
And I find that a little bit surprising considering all the offensive success that we saw yesterday from the lines, but maybe the coach wants to switch it up, see how these different guys gel together. We will see here for opening puck drop.
Yep, and it's going to be a new goaltender in the crease for the Frozen Tide today. Thomas Cashel, the Long Island native. He's 2-0 this season with a .920 save percentage, 1.82 goals against average. Only his third appearance this year. And Tyler Terranova getting some rest.
It's Ian Brown on the faceoff for High Point, able to win it there. Morgan Brooks for Alabama. Puck goes behind the red line. Possessed by Alabama. Lost it. And High Point's got it up here. That is Jody Riggio. He loses it. Brown gives chase into the boards. Possesses it, passes it, and it's deflected away. Knocking it up. And that is Reese Gulata who tries to take a shot right there. Then Ringstad, excuse me, recovers it. And that is a shot right there taken by Joey Riggio and saved right there by goalie number 29, Thomas Cashel.
Yeah, that's a great look there. Ian Brown on the chip and chase from Riggio, digging it out of the corner, wins the 50-50 battle in the corner, walks along the goal line, tried to set up Joey Riggio, and he had a great chance for a one-timer. A good stick breaks it up, but a good first shift for that line.
It'll be Grady Murphy taking the face-off here in the O-zone for High Point. They really struggled here last night. And face-off won by Alabama.
Yeah, the face-off circle was an area that Alabama dominated last night. High Point's got to get back towards even in that scenario. Also, Will Clark filling in for Riggio on this line with Evangelista and Murphy.
Gulata handles it behind the net, passes it up, taken by McGarry. He gets it back to Gulati, looking for a man. Pass goes awry. High Point gives chase to it. That is Will Clark, and recovered by Alabama. Passes it out. John Owen. And puck goes back into High Point territory. And then it'll be in the neutral zone. Picked up right there by McGarry. McGarry, puck goes behind the net. He gets pushed right there into the boards. Back to Kitfa. Kitfa behind the net. Passes it up. Misses a man right there. He was looking for Grady Murphy. Recovered there by York for Alabama. And now Lewis. And Alabama moving it down the ice. On the net we go. Andrew Fallon fighting for it. Shot right there. No, pass by Votts. Gets it out, and that is a save right there from Zach Podolsky. It was Britton Tebby for Alabama taking the shot. Podolsky last night, he was outstanding. Over 59 shots taken and only allowed in 5. Really strong performance from him.
Yeah, we talked about it in the pregame. 54 saves last night for Podolsky. Just a great look in the net for him. He's got to be tired, though, so hopefully his body can hold up and keep it moving in the right direction today.
Oh, and that's a shot taken right there from Alabama, and it will go in. That is Ryan Fortunato. And, well, Alabama wins that faceoff right there, and Fortunato takes advantage of it. Just a little bit high for Podolsky there. And Alabama will take a 1-0 lead early on here in this game.
Well, that's an unfortunate one for Podolsky. He never saw it because of a screen from his own man. A pickup on the loose puck by Fortunato. Tanner Ripley was right in between Podolsky and the shooter Fortunato. Never saw it. Fortunate shot placement for Fortunato, and it's an early lead for the Frozen Tide.
Fallon wins the faceoff for High Point. And Tried to get it out right there to number 12, Alex Brown. Missed it, though. Ringstad gets pushed into the wall right there. Some contact in the neutral zone. Now Alex Brown trying to recover the puck. And it is recovered by Alabama. Aiden Kooning just passes it back down behind the red line. Now picked up by High Point. They'll try to advance it into Alabama territory.
Penalty coming up here.
And that'll be whistled dead by the ref right there. The penalty will be on Alabama.
Yep, they're going to get him for a slash. A great play there by Nick Fallon to draw the call. Fought off a hit along the wall, gets by, and as he picked up a puck, it was nearly a 2-on-1. So a good penalty there. It'll be Ash Warner going to the box. An early chance on the power play for High Point. They only had one goal on 6 tries on the power play yesterday, but no time like the present.
And yeah, an ozone face-off, up a man. I mean, there's no way to get back on track on something you struggle with than this situation here. It'll be Joey Riggio on the face-off for High Point. Number 7, Kellen McGarry for Alabama. Face-off won by High Point.
Riggio didn't take a lot of draws yesterday. Good to see him win that early one.
Takes a shot right there, goes behind the boards. And back up to Ringstad. Ringstad will try to take a shot, but it's a flex off an Alabama defender. And that puck will go back into High Point territory. Good job, good penalty kill right there by Alabama. And neither team really did too well yesterday with the penalties.
Yeah, not too great on the man advantage either side, but I like that look from Cole Ringstad, shooting it from the top at the point with traffic in front, trying to create a deflection or a rebound.
Fallon back up to Ringstad, back to Fallon. Fallon takes a shot a little bit outside of the right, deflected. Back up to Ringstad. He'll survey around, he'll go to Fallon. Fallon takes another shot, bounces it off to stick.
It's a good block there. Ripley fighting for position in front.
Back to Ripley, bounces it off his skate. Ripley giving chase from an Alabama defender. Now back to Ringstad. Ringstad cuts back, loses it. It'll go behind, and Alabama looks to recover. Into the boards goes a man. And some contact there, right there. And that is Owen for Alabama, and he'll just continue to kill this penalty. Back.
Slight line mix up here. Fedoriv out there, part of the second unit. Ringstad is still on the ice, just momentarily though.
And that is Sanderson who lost it. And that will be a stoppage play right there.
I've liked this Alabama penalty kill so far. A little bit bend, don't break. They have allowed some shot opportunities, but they've been very active with their sticks, blocking some shots, breaking up some passing lanes, keeping everything to the outside for the most part.
Sanderson with a face-off. Less than 10 seconds, or around 10 seconds left on the penalty kill for Alabama. Shot right there, and that'll be a goal! Cameron Sanderson with a really nice goal right there. Just got right in there and takes a shot. A little high for the goalie, and High Point gonna tie this game up here with a little bit more than 15 minutes left here in this first period.
A huge power play goal for Cam Sanderson. That is great to see, to get him back in the goal scoring column. For Sandy, that is his 3rd goal of the year. He had a primary assist yesterday, give assist to Tim Pearl on that goal. A huge play, and it starts with the power play faceoff win that we were talking about yesterday. High Point had a tough time in the faceoff circle, especially in the ozone, but today they were winning those power play draws, and it comes back to be a success.
And that was a shot by McGarry, but saved by Podolski. Puck goes up in the air. McGarry and a High Point defender fighting for it. Oh, lost it right there. Oh, and a huge opportunity for Joseph Marciota, but he lost sight of the puck there.
What a great stick check there by Henry Mayer. He got by, doesn't take a penalty, on his stomach, clears the zone.
And Henry Mayer will now take it up. He'll cut back. He'll try to get a shot. Good stick right there by number 65, Alex Kikta. And they're getting into the boards right there. Trying to knock that puck out. And it will be recovered by High Point. Then Alabama. And they'll take a little bit of a half shot right there. Podolski knocks that one back. Handles it right there. Picked off by Sanderson. He's made a couple plays here early on, including the goal.
Yeah, he's buzzing this weekend. He is one of the leaders on this team. That's why he's an alternate captain. One of the guys that was on the D2 squad last year, went to nationals with the team. A big leadership presence on this squad with a lot of freshmen on it.
Evangelista lost it. And Ringstad, a really nice play to extend it.
Couldn't beat the zone, just barely missed it.
But good effort nonetheless, as that is going back up. It's looking for somebody. And Ringstad trying to knock that puck out. He does, gets around to Drew Sleeber. And he goes back up to Ringstad. Oh, no, not Ringstad, excuse me. That was Will Pyatt. Pyatt loses it. And once again, another chase here between these two. Oh, into the boards right there. Forcing by Drew Sleeber. Oh, and a shot taken, and that is a goal for Alabama. Number 27, John Owen, had 14 points in a 2-game series against UAB, and right there makes a really nice play.
Yeah, and Owen had 3 assists yesterday. This time he gets into the scoring column, and we talked about it. The depth scoring was going to be a key. Alabama, all their scoring pretty much last night coming from the top line, and their 2 goals so far in this game, 2 in the first 7 minutes, all from different lines. You got a goal from Fortunato, his 6th of the year, and Owen scoring his 6th of the year as well. So that is a huge, huge goal for Alabama and their confidence in their depth scoring.
And Ian Brown here will take the face-off for High Point. And High Point will look to get this puck back in their possession. 2-1 game here with 13:02 left here in the first period. Face-off won by High Point, goes back to Podolsky. And they will take over on an offensive zone face-off. Or no.
Yeah, an offensive zone draw for Alabama coming up.
Defensive zone.
And you're seeing that top line back out there. Brown, Gorski, and Riggio. It's only their second shift, and we're about 7 minutes into the game. So got to see what they can do with this one. Brown creating that good chance earlier.
Face-off won by Alabama. Shot taken right there. Back to Alabama. Owen, he'll cut in, loses it. That's taken back by High Point. High Point bounces off Brown's stick. And he was looking for Gorski. Pass goes a little bit past him. And recovered by Alabama. Some traffic right there on the side. Nice stick right there by Tanner Ripley.
Yeah, that's a huge play. Ian Brown had lost his stick and his glove, so Ripley, the last line of defense, makes the play.
And Gorski playing some tight defense right there. Back up to Alabama. Shot taken on Podolsky, able to deflect that one. Right around, that is Davis Turner, who was splitting 2 offensive players right there. Nice play by him. Back up. Bounces it off the glass and the wall. And back behind the net. And that is, oh no, that's Tanner Ripley.
Oh, here we go, maybe some numbers.
Back to Marchiota. And Alabama will get it back up. High Point recovers it. Now Brown, he loses it. Now fighting back for it. And Alabama is able to knock that back. Will Clark going to try to recover here for High Point.
That's a great stick lift there by Scandifio. Didn't get a lot of ice time last night for the Frozen Tide. Brown had a wide open Will Clark on the near side. He was tapping for it, but unable to get the pass off because of the defensive play from Scandifio.
And that is Will Clark. Now Evangelista chasing for it. Marchiota. No, that's Brown. Excuse me. And an opportunity right there for Clark, but he lost it. Now he's got it back. Took a shot. Clark's got it back here. And that bounces off the back wall. Looking for Evangelista. Alabama will recover it here. That is number 7, Kellen McGarry. McGarry behind his back. Tried to get it to a man. Couldn't quite do it. And Alabama back here. And shot right there by McGarry. Couldn't quite land that one. And another opportunity for McGarry. And deflects off a High Point defender.
High Point's got to be tighter on McGarry in the slot there. You know he can score goals. He got 2 last night. You leave him wide open in the slot 2 plays in a row. That should have been a goal for Alabama, but luckily couldn't get the shot off the second time, and a big save from Podolski the first time.
And he has had a ton of shot opportunities here early on.
Yep, already up to 6 saves. 6 out of 8 so far, and so just halfway through the first period, High Point's got to do a better job of getting their sticks in the passing lanes and preventing those plays and just getting a body on somebody when they get below the circles. And I'd say that they could be a little bit better with putting bodies on guys at the blue line in the O-zone for Alabama as well.
I don't know where the physicality's going, but Murphy here on the faceoff can't win that one. Shot taken, Podolski saves it. Behind. Right there, that is Vats, who took a shot. It was a little bit off. And bouncing around the puck.
Great defensive play from Vitka there. Blocked a couple of shots. Podolski was spinning around, didn't know where it was. Vitka helps his goaltender out.
Some more traffic. That bounces off a stick of the defender. Back around. Podolski deflects another shot. And that bounced off right there off of Will Clark's helmet. And this puck continues to just go around. Nobody can really get a stick on it. And good job right there by High Point to try to put it into Alabama zone. They're able to get some fresh legs on the ice. As Alabama's going to handle it. Right there looking for Ash Warner. And he'll get pushed right into the ice. Getting at it right there with Drew Schlieber. Schlieber takes it right now. And he was looking for a man, couldn't quite get it to him. And the puck goes back into High Point territory. Trying to get it off there, deflected by a defender. And that went a little bit offline right there, could have been dangerous.
Need to see High Point get some solid play in the D zone and set up in the O zone. They did a great job of setting up when they were on the power play, and since then they haven't been able to establish any real possession in the attacking end.
And there's been a lot of scrums here going on in this one so far, just in the sides of the back of the boards. Feels like no team can really get a solid possession going on. As a missed shot right there by Ringstad, and Alabama with a huge opportunity, shot taken, and Podolski, another great save, is able to step in front of it.
Wow, that is a huge save.
And Galata, he's being tied up. Good defense right there.
Thought they might have called a hook on Andrew Fallon there, but no call. Good defensive play. Another good play from Fallon.
And gets lucky there. McGarry almost had it, but gets wrapped up there.
That last save from Podolski was a huge one because Ringstad, with a rare misplay at the blue line, allows a 2-on-1. Podolski with a big save to bail his defender out.
And Ringstad back, looking for a man. Couldn't quite get it to him. In the passing lane is that stick. Puck goes back into the neutral zone into Mammoth territory. They'll recover it. And Alabama moving it up the ice here. McGarry tried to get something going, couldn't quite, lost it. Recovers it there. Now gets it back to Luis. Luis back to McGarry. McGarry behind the net. Tried to go end around. And a little bit of a scrum right in front of Podolski. Alabama recovers it. Pass back down to Plamadon. Rinstad getting right in there, getting a little bit dirty there. And McGarry tried to get possession back, couldn't quite do it. Now Alabama does have possession back. Bounces, and that bounced off Sanderson's stick. Jack Merckx now with the puck. Mertz loses it. Oh, that's Turner, Davis Turner, excuse me, that's Davis Turner. As the puck goes back behind the net of Alabama. Not a lot of time being spent there. As High Point will give chase to the puck. That is Alex Fickta.
Gorski doing some good job. And here in the O-zone for Alabama, they've had a really tough time of getting to the high danger scoring areas. Credit to the High Point defense.
Really good job here by this High Point defense. They spent a lot of time here on defense. As tried to move that. That's Ian Brown here. Ian Brown takes a little bit of a shot. Can't quite get it there. Tries to go behind his back. Doesn't quite work out for him. Now Alabama trying to move it. That's Vats. Bounces off a defender. Now Plamadon tries to recover. Ian Brown now. He's got some speed, cuts back to the right. Brown, he gets it out to his teammate, Jonathan Gorski. Gorski loses it. Now recover shot taken right there by Alex Kifka. And that is recovered by Alabama. Now High Point tried to get their hands back on the puck, couldn't quite do it. Stolen, intercepted by High Point. Back to Bama, and the refs will blow this one dead.
Yeah, I've really liked the forecheck from this line. Ian Brown, Joey Riggio, Jonathan Gorski, they have been the line that has been able to set up the most in the O-zone at 5-on-5. That offside is just a bit unlucky, but Joey Riggio, Ian Brown, they've had some really active sticks. With 5:16 left to go in the first, try to see if High Point can draw this one even. It was 3-0 Alabama after the first yesterday.
And Grady Murphy on the faceoff couldn't quite win that one right there. Alabama will extend it. That's Owen, already has a goal today. Goes behind the net. Tried to get it to his teammate, couldn't quite do it. Evangelista falls over. Now Murphy fighting for the puck, throws a man to the ground, takes a shot, and that is saved right there by Thomas Cashel.
He hasn't had to see a lot of rubber so far. That's only the 5th shot on goal for High Point so far in this game. But that's a lucky play for Murphy. He sent a reverse hit and then gets dumped into the Alabama bench, and as that's happening is able to somehow get a shot on goal from the neutral zone, create a no-zone draw.
Well, the first opportunities here for this High Point offense here. Obviously has the one goal, but not a whole lot of time, and they'll lose it there. It's right back into their D zone. Into the boards goes a couple of players right there. That'll bounce off the boards. Lost it. Alabama, High Point picks it up. That's Ripley. Tanner Ripley tries to get it in between two defenders, can't quite do it. And now you got Grady Murphy rolling back out. He'll try to cut back behind. Passes it out. And Alabama will get right into that lane. And everything High Point's tried to set up here offensively in terms of passing, Alabama has had an answer to it. They've done a really good job of getting these passing lanes. As the puck, really dangerous opportunity there for Alabama, as that was Reese Gulata almost had a chance on a 1v1, couldn't quite corral the puck.
Yeah, just outskated Davis Turner. I don't think Davis Turner knew that Gulata was that close to him and on the back check.
Gulata hat trick last night, so he's obviously dangerous. As in the neutral zone is the puck. Goes back down, and Podolski, he'll pass it back out to Davis Turner. Turner to Ringstad. Ringstad off of a man's stick, excuse me. That was Andrew Fallon he was looking for. Puck recovered by Alabama. That is Kellen McGarry. Geiselman tried to get his hands on it. Just throws it back to High Point. That is Davis Turner, and Turner loses it. Recovered here by High Point. Alex Brown, he loses it. And now Alabama recovers it. Puck a little bit too far for everyone, and that will be an icing on Alabama. So an O-zone face-off here for High Point, a really nice opportunity.
And this is a good sign. So they're sending out Marchiota, Sanderson, and Pearl. Sanderson has done a great job in the face-off circle so far in this game, and he's taking it on his strong side to the blocker side of Cashel. See if maybe there's something set up off the face-off here.
And that'll be Cameron Sanderson on the face-off. Recovered by Alabama. They'll try to move it up the ice. High Point back into High Point territory. That puck is recovered by the Panthers. And now back to the Frozen Tide, excuse me. Sanderson recovers it, gets hit, goes down. Still trying to possess the puck right there. Was able to hold up his man. Recovered by High Point.
Vitka with speed up the far side.
And Vitka showing the versatility. As High Point trying to get something going here on offense, but Alabama's going to recover the puck here. Bounces it off the walls.
Vitka's got to have that puck at the blue line.
And now shot right there by John Balthasar. First time we've called his name tonight. And another save right there for Zach Podolsky. Quite a few shots here for Alabama compared to High Point's.
Yep, shots on goal right now, 15-6. Podolsky up to 13 saves. So it's funny, last night the score 3-1 Alabama after the first period. It's only 2-1 Alabama right now, but I feel like the first period yesterday was stronger for High Point, even though they were down by 2 at the end of the first. They were right there in it. They just haven't had a lot of zone time so far.
100% shot deflected, Podolsky. And that will go back to Ringstad. Ringstad to the near side. Tries to bounce it off the wall, can't do it. Alabama recovers it. McGarry had a shot, and Podolsky another great save. As that puck will go back up to High Point's Joey Riggio.
Oh, what a feed.
Oh, was trying to get it to a man. Shot taken. Oh, and that might be a goal. Is that a goal? Yes, it is. High Points. Wow, Jonathan Gorski with the last second and a little bit of a scrum going here in the right corner on the near side, but that was a really good effort by Gorski. Try to push that one in there.
Just didn't give up on it, and that is a huge goal for Gorski. His third goal of the season. He scored in the first goal, his first game against Eastern Kentucky, and I mentioned it. We're going to get another look at it here. Just did not give up right there on the post, and then there's the scrum after the play too. Kellen McGarry got caught up in the scrum. I don't think we're going to see a penalty out of there. You assume that we might. It looks like it's going to stay 5-on-5 though, but that top line, we mentioned it from the start. It was Ian Brown, Joey Riggio, and Jonathan Gorski that were creating the majority of the chances. Those three get points on that goal, and we're tied at 2. And the last 2 minutes of the first period is what did High Point in yesterday. A goal in the final 2 minutes of the first period today gets them back to even.
Right you are, as Alabama will recover the puck here in the neutral zone. Back into High Point territory. Ringstad, he possesses it, gets it back up to his teammate. Oh, really nice adjustment right there by Joey Riggio. Loses it, but really nice adjustment initially. Recovered by Alabama. And that is, I don't know what that was, but back off the wall to High Point. Brown, he loses it. Now he recovers. And Ian Brown, he's got speed. Ian Brown, oh, he loses it, and he gets thrown onto the ground. He took quite a bit of a beating yesterday, and it looks like that might continue today. But he's been making some plays. High Point with the puck again. And losing it right there was Riggio, and recovered by Thomas Cashel in the Alabama Frozen Tide.
Riggio is getting involved after the whistle with a couple of guys, and I think he's going to the box here.
And it looks like he might be. Yeah, he is.
They're going to get him for a slash with 24 seconds left in the period. High Point hadn't gone to the penalty box so far in the first, so a big penalty kill. They were 4 for 4 last night. See if they can continue that success.
And if you really think about it, considering it was only a 2-goal game with one of the goals coming on an empty net, these up man possessions where you have opportunities, these can really determine a game.
Yep, the power play was big.
But a great save by Podolsky. And you can tell, obviously, you're going to always have an open man in these kind of situations, in a man-down situation. So the fact that Podolsky is able to save that is just very, very encouraging. You got to feel confident if you're High Point.
Yep, you just got to get out of the period here. 17 seconds left.
Exactly. Murphy on the faceoff couldn't quite win it. Shot taken right there by Votts, and another save by Podolsky, who he's just been on his bag during this road trip.
Yep, that he has. 16 saves here in the first period. A lot of shots on goal from Alabama, but they got to keep this up, the High Point penalty kill. On the ice, it's Ripley, Murphy, Vitka, and Gorski. 12 seconds left in the period, and too many scoring chances on the power play so far for Alabama than you'd like if you're High Point.
And Murphy got tied up right there. Pass goes a little bit to the left of Podolsky. Good stick right there by Gorski. And now a little bit of a scrum here. A little bit some shoving here. Ash Warren for Alabama getting involved right there. So with about 0.5 seconds left here in the period, we'll get one more face-off for Alabama here in the O zone for them, and High Point on their D zone before we will end the first period.
So we'll see what happens here. Likely, Alabama's going to try to shoot this puck directly forward on the draw. You got to get bodies in front of Podolsky if you're High Point.
100%. And it's a really good job right there by Gorski to box him out, and that will end the first period here, tied at 2 here in Pelham, Alabama at the Pelham Center. I'm Luke Lee here with Graham Tuck, and we will be back here in a little bit for second period action of High Point hockey. And welcome back here to the Pelham Center here in Pelham, Alabama here. I am Luke Lee with Graham Tuck, and Graham about to kick off some second period action here between the High Point Panthers and the Alabama Frozen Tide.
Yeah, and High Point's going to be shorthanded to start the second period. A bad penalty by Joey Riggio in the closing moments of the first. And Alabama got some good chances on the power play before the first period ended. So they started the third period shorthanded yesterday and ended up killing it off. It's going to be a really big start of the period for High Point. It's going to be Gorski, Ian Brown, Cole Ringstad, Alex Kavitka, the penalty killer units. And the story of the second period there was Zach Podolsky stopping 17 shots in the first period. High Point got to get some offensive zone time to take some of the pressure off of their goaltender, who has been nothing short of a stud all weekend long. Shots on goal 19-7 in the first.
And it's crazy, only 7 shots, but you have 2 goals.
Yep. And High Point has done a great job of capitalizing on their opportunities. You had the power play goal by Cam Sanderson and some great tic-tac-toe passing on the goal by Jonathan Gorski late in the first period to tie things up at 2. And see if they can build on that here in the second, especially if they can start off strong with a big kill.
Excited to see how this second period will play out here as puck goes behind the Alabama players right there, behind the goal.
Yeah, that's a great win by Jonathan Gorski in the faceoff circle. Instead of trying to win it back to one of his defensemen, he just slaps it all the way down.
And Votz will take it down. He'll get it back out to Owen, who has a goal. Back behind to Votz. Back to Owen. Getting it around, and that is shot taken. It goes up and into the boards.
A good save there by Podolsky on the shot from Plamondon, and then a good clear from Gorski. He has had a great shift to start this penalty kill.
Really nice penalty kill right there by High Point. Done a really good job last night of doing that, and so far they're doing a really solid job. So
47 seconds left on the penalty to Riggio.
Alabama advancing it, and that'll go behind the High Point net. Ringstad in there.
Here we
now
go.
Ian Brown. Ian Brown takes a shot, and it bounces off the goalie. Back up to High Point. Behind his back to Ringstad.
That's a very smart play by Kavitka there.
And now Alabama. Ringstad on the defense. And another nice little pass up to kill this penalty here for High Point. Now just under 10 seconds of 5-on-4 before we're back at even at 5.
You could not have asked for a better start to the period on the penalty kill than that. No really high danger chances on the power play for Alabama, and Riggio's out of the box.
And you can tell High Point just by the way they're playing. They're locked in. They are buzzing. They're getting ready. They want to go out and win this one. And really nice start so far. It's Alabama. And that'll be a stoppage of play here.
Yeah, Mayer had no idea that Brooks was still offside, but we were talking about it in the break. I thought that High Point played a better first period yesterday in a period in which they ended up down 3-1 after 20 minutes. And today, I thought they didn't play quite as well as they did yesterday, but they're tied at 2. So you come out of that period better than you probably should have, and you got to build on that chance that you've given yourself.
And the face-off taken there by Alabama. Shot taken, and it is in. Alabama takes that one. I believe that was Connor Plamondon with the shot, and it was Plamondon. Alabama will take a 3-2 lead just 2 minutes here in this second period.
That's a rough turnover in the D zone there by Davis Turner. No way around it, but you were able to settle the puck there if you're Plamondon, get a clean shot off. High Point's got to start winning those neutral zone draws. It just comes down to the face-off circle. That play never comes around if you win the face-off. Obviously, you're not going to win every one, but when you lose it, you've got to get back and make the solid defensive play.
100%. They did a good job with that for the most part, but there couldn't quite replicate that. As puck will go back around. That is Clark. Clark loses it, picked up. And shot, no, not shot taken, pass taken. That is McGarry, who still has it. He loses it, and that'll go behind the net again. McGarry recovers it, tries to sweep it around, can't quite do it. Now Clark's got it. He bounces it off the wall. Now Murphy, He'll take a shot, and Murphy, just a little bit of a high shot. Not high where it should be, but too high to go where he wanted it to go. Looks like he wanted it to go low, but went right into the chest of the goalie. Either way, great play by Grady Murphy to get some separation and just get a shot off.
Yeah, I like that play from Grady Murphy a lot. It gives you an offensive zone face-off. Murphy is one of the better shots on this team. Like we mentioned, he's got 4 goals in the last 2 games. You never know. That one might go in if you can place it well enough. If not, worst-case scenario, you get a rebound or a face-off.
Fallon loses the face-off there. Recovered by Alabama. Mayer's got it. And that is deflected by a High Point defender. Shot taken right there by Plight. Covered by Alabama. As High Point's got it back. Now Alabama, they'll try to advance it out of the neutral zone. They will do that. Tied up right there. Mayer. Oh, and he gets shoved to the ground from a little bit from behind him.
Yeah, huge hit Fedorov there.
And maybe got away with one a little bit. As that's a shot taken by Mayer, and it doesn't land. And Vots, shot taken, and it is in. Oh, just one of those plays where a couple bounces go your way, and that is a goal for Brendan Vots. And Alabama taking all these shots, and eventually they're going to land.
Yeah, another tough one there that the loose puck just finds its way. Alabama probably should have scored on the one-timer that was sent just wide, but they stuck with the play, didn't quit on it. And it is Vots who ends up capitalizing. So you kill the penalty to start the period, but then at 5-on-5, 2 goals allowed quickly. Not even 4 minutes into the period, 16:40 left.
And the persistency for Alabama is showing, as couldn't handle it right there. That was Ripley.
Oh, wow. Podolski had to make a save there on a shot from behind the goal line.
And that'll be an icing on High Point. Alabama will get an O-zone face-off. And yeah, I mean, it's a really nice save by Podolski right there. And he's got his work cut out for him here with these Alabama shooters. And just of how everything's been going, kind of the phase of this game, you're gonna have to see some big plays from him, and we have.
Yeah, and that's really what happened last night is that High Point got outplayed, but Podolski robbed the Frozen Tide at points. That has happened a little bit today, but not quite as much. High Point hasn't just had the offensive pressure that they've needed to.
And you can't really expect that consistently from a goalie.
Right.
Especially against these level of shooters. As High Point tries to get a possession here, they will. That's Ripley who misses a man. He was looking for Sanderson, who loses possession. Nice play right there by Moschiota to get a stick on it. Sanderson couldn't quite possess the puck there, though. Giving chase is Marchiota. It looks like, no, it's not Marchiota. Excuse me, that was Gorski. As puck chased by Alabama behind the net. That is Ringstad getting in right there. Ringstad and Ripley. Back up to Alabama. To Louis. He'll take a shot, and Zach Podolski have another routine save.
Yep, I've loved how Podolski has looked so far in this game. Obviously, 4 goals against is not going to look good on the stats through the first 25 minutes of the game. But that being said, I mean, none of them have really been bad goals. You get screened on the first one. The second one just unlucky, and then 2 really solid goals here in the third period where the defense has kind of left them out to dry.
Ian Brown on the faceoff couldn't quite win that one. As another bounce and deflection leads to another shot on Podolski, but is able to save it. Chase right there by High Point. That is Gorski going right into the collision with the wall. Now Alabama will continue to advance the puck down. Shot, no, not a shot taken. Loses control is Gulata. Haven't heard too much from him tonight. Gulata loses it. Recovered by High Point.
Numbers potentially.
That's Murphy. No, it's not Murphy. Shot taken. That was Joey Riggio. Couldn't quite get it there, though. Riggio.
Gorski's stick still loose on the ice after that tie-up that sent him into the boards. He got off but left his stick behind.
And Riggio was getting into a little bit of collision there. Ripley, he gets knocked into the walls and on the ground. And continuing to fight for this puck.
Bodies are flying all over the place here.
And Fedorov recovers it. Now taken by not Marchiota, Gorski, but
penalty coming up here against High Point. We're going to see what the call is. Ian Brown's going to the box.
That'll be another man-up opportunity here for Alabama. They only lead by 2 goals. They've had a lot of offensive success here, so if you're High Point, this is absolutely critical that you get a stop here.
2 for roughing to Ian Brown, 14-13 left to go, second period. A big penalty kill. High Point 1 for 1 on the kill so far, 5 for 5 on the weekend, but you gotta stay strong here. 2 goals, you're still within striking distance. A 3-goal lead would make it tough sledding for the Panthers.
That's Alabama just trying to get it around here. That's Voss. Takes a shot, already has a goal, can't get it. And if you're Alabama, that's what you want to do. You want to move around and exploit the fact that you are up a man and that somebody is going to be open. Doing a good job there, but Podolski, nothing but business.
Yeah, he has been locked in from the opening face-off. He's communicating with Tanner Ripley here. Murphy going to try to win it back, hopefully.
And Grady Murphy here on the face-off. Can't quite win it here.
And a good keep from Owen at the blue line.
Alabama trying to recover it. Some really good defense right there by Ripley. And pass out to Votts. He goes back to his man. Shot taken, and Podolski once again all over it. Just not really a lot of room for Alabama. High Point doing a really good job here on these penalty kills, not just with obviously keeping the puck out of their area, but when they have to play defense back here, they've been pretty locked down for the most part.
Yeah, Podolski pretty fortunate that that shot came on him from that angle because he was out of position, had really overcommitted to the far side towards the corner, way out of position if there was a pass able to get to the slot or the near side even, but makes the stop.
Face off won by Alabama, but they have to kill a lot of time to go get it. Covered right there by Owen. Something
interesting, they dropped that puck before Grady Murphy had gotten back to the bench, so High Point briefly had 5 on the ice.
Oh, a little of a dive right there by Owen. Can't quite get it. And Alabama will take it behind the goal. That was Cameron Samerson giving chase. Now you got Kellen McGarry. He's been the main catalyst tonight here, it feels like, for Alabama. Takes a shot. No, bounces off Podolski off his pads.
Yeah, it looked like it hit the post on the near side. Short side, I mean.
Back up. Alabama just moving this puck around, looking for a man, can't quite get it to him. Galata lost it. Now they go back up to Galata. And Galata will take it back down. Galata back up top again.
27 seconds left on the power play here.
And looking for Galata. Take a shot, and it is a little bit of a collision.
Yeah, huge block there from Kvitka to make the play, and Podolski still had to make 2 saves there.
McGarry lost his stick, then picked it back up. And now here with less than 10 seconds on the penalty kill, Galata can't recover it. Now he's got it. Galata behind the goal.
Here comes Ian Brown.
Out, takes a shot, and it is in. Wow. Chris Galata had 3 goals last night, a hat trick, and gets 1 here. And, I mean, they were just stuck in that position for so long. Alabama was just moving around. At that point, something is going to get open. A shot is going to work out. And, I mean, there's not much more you can really ask for except for maybe just hold on a little bit longer. But even then, I mean, they were just stuck in a bad position for so long.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you kill the penalty, but then 3 seconds later, Galata, I mean, he's got that great shot. We saw it yesterday, the hat trick, finishing it off with the empty netter to seal it. But this second period has been a nightmare for High Point. They started, tied at 2. You kill off both penalties that you had in this period to kill off, but at even strength, it's just not been enough. And sometimes people say, oh, here's a chance for Gorski.
Intercepted by Gorski. Gorski took a shot, and it couldn't quite go in.
Yeah, he tried to move to the backhand, but just couldn't get a shot off. A great move from Gorski, and a great play there from Fedoriv.
Alabama recovers here. Geisenhart loses it, and Votts gets a stick on it. Shoulder right there by Brown. And back to Brown, bounces it off his stick. Looks like Ringstad getting in there with Votts. Now Brown, he'll get the puck back. He'll get it to Ringstad. Ringstad loses it. Tries to possess it again. Still can't get to it. And Alabama now will recover the puck. That's Geiselhart. Geiselhardt scanning, takes a shot. No, maybe it was a pass. It went off of Padelski's pad either way.
Yeah, looking for the tap in. And that play, Ringstad coming in, trying to bring it into the zone. Somebody's got to rotate back to cover him. Fedorov with the only defenseman there, and it results in that 2-on-1. Somebody's got to move back. I know there's a lot of new bodies on this team, but you got to communicate.
There's been a whole lot of contact here. A second ago, just saw Ian Brown get absolutely laid into the boards trying to get that puck. As a nice collision right there. And looking for a man, can't quite get it to him. Pass bounces it off.
That's a great block there, Fedorov.
Padelski dived, thought that was coming. Alabama going to continue moving around. Shot taken, hits it high point defender. Net passes offline, goes off the boards. Back up top. Now top right. That is Kunin. Takes a shot right there, can't quite get to the goalie. And there'll be a stoppage of play here.
Yep, they're going to get Drew Schliebner for a cross check. So another penalty kill coming up for the Panthers, their third of the period. And with 10-11 left, you're not even halfway through this period and already 3 goals on the board for Alabama. A penalty's not going to help this, but you've got to try to get some offensive pressure set up. Now, High Point did have some shorthanded opportunities yesterday. Maybe they can get something going on the penalty kill.
I mean, yeah, you got to take advantage of these opportunities that Alabama's going to give you. And now this is basically as good of an opportunity as you're going to get. You're up 5-4 right now. So we'll see how this one goes for High Point. They need to get something going, though. Shot taken. And that is another goal for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Wow. Andrew Geiselhardt. And we talked about it last night. For the most part, it was Kellen McGarry and Reese Galata with the majority of the offense. Now, multiple players with goals. Obviously, McGarry hasn't even scored, it looks like. Geiselhardt scored. Galata scored.
Yep, you've got 6 different goal scorers for Alabama.
John Owen, yeah, many different guys have gotten in there. And that's been the difference of the night, is that you haven't had to rely on your top guys to go out and score. Everyone's been contributing for Alabama.
Yep, High Point's taking their time out here. The goals for Alabama from Fortunato, Owen, Plamondon, Votts, Galata, and now Geiselhardt. And Padelski has seen 35 shots halfway through this game. High Point's on pace to give up 70 shots in this game. And you've got to really tighten things up in the D zone if you're going to make something happen.
Absolutely. The defense last night was actually, for the most part, pretty solid. I mean, they had some bad moments. For the most part last night, all the goals Alabama scored, 5 of them with the 5 real goals, let's be honest here, they were all pretty impressive shots. They weren't easy shots. High Point was on them. And then obviously you had the empty net goal, which really, you couldn't even really put that on the defense because there was no one back there playing defense. So, but tonight, today, it's just been a different story because you've had a whole lot of different shots, and not all of them have been incredibly hard shots.
Yeah, and it's not like Padelski's been leaky either. I mean, he is standing up to a lot of really, really high-quality shots. The goals that he's let him have not been, brutal ones that you look back on and think, oh, I'd like to have that one back. The lone exception maybe being the first goal, but that being said, I think that it's got to be mentioned the fact that, this team has got to be able to set up in the O-zone. And I think that's going to come with time as these guys get some more chemistry. Again, this is the first time that these guys have all played together in a game in a really long time between injuries and new arrivals and things like that. So let's see how High Point responds coming out of the timeout.
100% Fallon on the faceoff. Couldn't quite win that one. Alabama looking to recover. That is Walker. Well, that's Ripley. And that pass is offline right there for Alabama. Riddick, he's got it. Bounces off of his teammate's stick right there. And Alabama here just has been absolutely dominating this period. It was 2-2 going into the second period. It's 6-2 now, and it's just been an absolute swing. High Point with a nice opportunity here in their own offense, in their offensive zone to try to get something going on offense because they haven't had a whole lot of time here.
Yeah, and that's a rare icing so far today from Alabama, and that's something that really has, helped out the Frozen Tide, is that they haven't had a lot of defensive zone draws.
And Alabama's also been just a whole lot more disciplined tonight than last night. They weren't very
that is true.
Night.
Only 1 penalty so far taken in the game by the Frozen Tide, 3 for the Panthers, but High Point had 6 power plays yesterday.
They were only able to convert on one of them, so.
Yep.
Alabama here going to get the puck back in their possession.
Here we go.
Looking for Riddick. Oh, it's taken by High Point. Behind him. Oh, and he loses it. It was a really nice opportunity for High Point to try to get a shot off, but couldn't quite do so.
So the trend for this High Point team is that they like to try to dangle through the defender, and a lot of times they're not opting for the pass. That time, that's what Nick Fallon did, but in that situation, I feel like it was the right play. He didn't really have anyone out wide to spread the puck out to, and he almost dragged all the way through, but just couldn't make it happen.
And just those split-second decisions that can change a game. It's a nice play right there on defense by the Panthers. Puck goes up.
An insane pass breakup from Dorian Fedorov, sliding to a knee.
And he's been all over today on defense.
Yep, he has looked great.
Shout out to him as puck goes back out to Alabama. Now recovered by High Point. That is Pyatt. Pyatt takes a shot, and it's a little bit offline right there. Didn't quite hit the net. As pass goes a little bit too far. That is Drew Schleber trying to recover right there for High Point. Mans falls down. Pass goes behind the Alabama goal. Covered by the Crimson Tide. And now the Frozen Tide. Now High Point gets a shot off right there. That was Ripley, but couldn't quite get couldn't quite get that one in there. As the puck will go up. Between the legs, takes a shot, bounces off Podolski's chest pad, and High Point will try to advance it now. A little bit of contact on the wall, loses it. Galata was on there as they will advance it up. This is Mayer.
Oh, great play on the forecheck by Pearl.
Loses it right there.
That's one thing that High Point has really been successful with this weekend. When they've been able to find their forecheck, that's when they've been successful in trying to create scoring chances. Want to see some more on the forecheck from the Panthers. That's what created that goal, the second goal from Jonathan Gorski, was they were really aggressive on the forecheck, trying to pin the Frozen Tide in their own zone. They've been more relaxed, and as they've gotten away from their forecheck, they've gotten away from the scoring.
That right you are. Morgan Brooks right there for the Frozen Tide with the shot. Another save by Zach Podolski, who's been great. As it'll be another offensive zone draw for Alabama as Brooks wins the faceoff for the Frozen Tide. Puck now recovered by the Panthers. Bounces it off the wall. Now that pass is intercepted by Warner, who's able to get it to his teammate. Back behind him. Brooks took the shot. Good defense right there by Fedorov. And that is another shot. And that is another goal for the Crimson Tide. That was number 54, Morgan Brooks. Took the last shot. This time it goes in. And when it rains, it pours. And that has just been the story of today.
Yeah, that's another tough one. That is the first goal that I'd really classify as leaky from Zach Podolski in this game. And, you know, it's just a tough one. You see so much rubber. 39 shots so far for Alabama. Still 6:55 left to go in the second. It's been a really rough go in the second period. And you can only ask for so much when you've seen as many shots as Podolski has.
Keep in mind, he played a game less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah, just about 12 hours ago. I mean, it feels like, and a little bit more than that. But a late game last night going into an afternoon game on the road, unfamiliar environment. It's just a tough ask against a team as good as Alabama. Fortunate no call there. That looked like a trip, but one of the Alabama players, I think that was Votts, he just caught his skate on the puck and hit the deck hard.
And both teams getting some substitutions here. And, I mean, yeah, if you're High Point, it's just been a rough one today. You want to just take away some positives here. Try to escape this second period and try to regroup for the third. Maybe get something going. Because it really has shown that if you can get some offense going, that you got yourself a game. But you got to stop them. And that they haven't been able to stop them and they haven't been able to get it to their side. As that was Murphy on the faceoff. Couldn't quite corral it. A little bit of a fight in the wall right there. That is
Ripley. Some great physicality. Now you got to get out of the play before they call a penalty.
Some really contested defense by the Panthers. Grady, nice shot. A nice stick right there. Pass is intercepted though. As that is Ringstad. Tries to get something going, can't quite do it. Recovered by Alabama. Now Galata, guarded by Ripley, loses it. High Point now got the puck back. That is Will Clark.
Oh, here we go.
Walked to Evangelista, and Nate Evangelista takes it in there, and High Point will help end the bleeding just a little bit right there. 7-3 now. As a nice play by Nate Evangelista, but Will Clark, a really good job to get it to him, and then Evangelista, really just great finish from him.
Yeah, we're going to get another look at it here in a second. A great move to the backhand by Nate Evangelista, and a good assist from Will Clark here. He brings it all the way up across the red line, draws the defender in, gets it to Evangelista down low, and he finishes the play. A great goal from Nate.
It's just great to see some fight from these guys, considering how this game has gone. Could be very demoralizing. It's a great face-off win right there from Nick Fallon. Was able to take it into Frozen Tide territory, but it's recovered by Alabama. That is Plamadon. Or no, that's not. That is not. Number 8 is not listed on our roster. And that shot was deflected. Now Alabama recovers it. Back down. And Alabama still has it. That is Riddick. Top right, takes another shot, hits his teammate, and down goes a High Point defender.
Yeah, Kavitka a bit worse for the wear after that play.
Might have taken a little bit of that puck right there. As takes a shot, can't quite land it. As puck, oh, dangerous spot right there. Kavitka, great job to just move that puck out of the way, out of harm's reach right there. It's another collision. And missed the puck right there. Oh, another hit on Ripley. It's just been physical here. And that was not Ripley. That was Will Pyatt. And now Pyatt has the puck. Pyatt cups back out, but it's a 1-on-3. Has no help. Can't quite do anything with it. Kavitka gets it out to Fallon. Fallon cuts back out to the right. Looking for a man. Misses him, and
good stick, Marchiota.
Marchiota trying to get it in there. As Federer, really good job to put a stick in there. Cole Ringstad tried to get it to it, but it doesn't matter because Podolski will recover it. Now you got a little bit of a contention as Alabama will recover at the top of the ice. And now Ringstad, and he'll drop it off, misses his man. Now Marchiota. It's a little bit of room. Marchiota takes a shot, and it is gloved right there by Cashel. Alabama will take possession of the puck.
I really like that shot from Marchiota because we're late in the period. You've just scored a goal after you've been dominated for this period. Let's call a spade a spade. It has been all Alabama in the second here. But you've only got 12 shots up until that one from Marchiota makes it 13, and you've scored 3 goals. So what you're seeing is Cashel a little bit leaky. Take a shot there, create an ozone draw. You've got your top line back out there. I like the play.
And a really good job right there by number 73, Joey Riggio, to steal that puck. Riggio. He missed his man. That was Gorski he was looking for. It went between his legs. Behind him, as Ringstad given chase, but he won't quite get to it. Into the boards they go, though. As Ian Brown, nice little stick right there. Now you go. Jonathan Gorski, the Brown, shot taken, and it is saved.
Wow, what a save.
Behind the goal. That is Brown. That pass is deflected. And good job right there by Alabama to try to avoid some disaster. That could have been really bad for them.
Oh, man, that is Cashel's best save of the game by far.
And he has been a little bit leaky, but that was a really nice save. Taken right there, stolen by Galata from Brown. And High Point able to recover. Now Ringstad to Jonathan Gorski.
They're going to get Federer for a penalty here.
Oh, and that is just the worst thing you could have asked for at this point. You had a little bit of momentum going, and then you get that offsides penalty. Just unfortunate. Now if you're High Point, you got to just continue to be perfect on these power play kills, which they have been. They've been very good on these, but on the 5-on-5, they have really struggled.
Yep, the power play for Alabama this weekend so far 1 for 7. But they scored on their last one, that goal from Andrew Geiselhart, his 10th of the season, and so High Point's got another penalty kill again late in the period, 2:44 left. This is a big juncture. If High Point can potentially kill this, maybe dream case scenario, get one before the end of the period, you feel pretty good going into the third.
And Murphy able to contest him on that faceoff. The faceoffs have been a little bit better tonight.
I would for sure agree in that regard, especially in the defensive zone.
Exactly. It could be a lot worse than what it is. It was a whole nice collision right there as Alabama tries to get that one. Owen, he looks for a man. Gets a two-and shot taken and saved by Podolsky. A nice, really nice just penalty kill by Grady Murphy. And he's just been great all weekend. Had a really nice game last night. Tonight has had some nice plays here too. Definitely improving on the faceoff. Alabama moving it up. That is McGarry. We haven't heard too much from him tonight.
Yeah, he's been really quiet.
After the hat trick last night. Or two goals last night, excuse me.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been their guy. He had 27 points on the year coming into the weekend, and their team leader in points. But they've gotten production from other areas tonight. They didn't have that last night, and obviously if you're Alabama, you like to see that. This is offside, and Galata should not have touched that puck as it allows High Point to get some fresh killers on the ice, as Clark and Murphy had been on the ice for the entire penalty kill thus far.
This is crucial because now you have an opportunity to get the puck back, in a point where Alabama is up a man. So you're going to take that if you're High Point, because now you could kill this penalty potentially on offense.
Wow, and this is huge. They're going to call that an intentional offside. So it'll be an ozone draw for High Point. Alex Brown, Nick Fallon, Cole Ringstad, Cam Sanderson. Brown can't win the draw, but that was a big chance there for High Point.
High Point get a little bit of momentum here as Alabama is able to take this face-off. They'll advance it up. That is Brooks. Brooks looking for a man. He'll get it to him. And that'll go back out to McGarry. McGarry takes a shot, can't quite land it. And Brooks, he'll recover it. McGarry. And if you got to describe a guy, you would describe him maybe as the quarterback of this team.
Yep.
Really the one to get around. Shot taken, and it is in. Morgan Brooks, another goal for the big man. And he had one a little bit earlier, gets one here now, and wow. I mean, that's just what happens when you put yourself in positions like this. That is just the second goal Alabama has scored on 8 power play possessions. They've had 8 of them in the last 2 games.
Yep, and that is Henry Mayer's first goal of the season, first point of the season, I believe. So they grab the puck 8-3. That's a tough way to go out to end the second. High Point has 58 seconds left to try to maybe get one back, get the lead back down to 4, but it's been a rough period after you started the second, tied at 2.
And Brown was able to initially recover, then lost it. He'll bounce it off the walls right there. Pass deflected, Vought's gonna take it. He'll take another shot, and Podolsky able to save that one. Bounces off a stick, passed out to Brown. Brown's got a little bit of space, but really he's got 3 guys on him. Takes a shot, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And Alabama's just trying to keep them out of the goal before the end of this period. Shot goes a little bit offline there. Another shot taken, slap shot, and that was almost there. Really, really lucky.
Oh, here we go.
As a one-on-one opportunity and a great defensive play right there by Zach Podolsky. Great save, and it was a nice shot, but didn't really matter.
Cole Ringstad trying to make something happen at the end of the period.
And Ringstad, it was a valiant effort. Got hit a little bit late into the walls by Louis, but it doesn't matter. 8-3, frozen tide here at the end of the second period. I'm Luke Lee here with Graham Tuck, and we will be here for the final period here of High Point hockey in Pelham, Alabama at the Pelham Center. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back here to the Pelham Center here in Pelham, Alabama. I'm Luke Lee here at Graham Tuck as we are here to broadcast the final period of High Point hockey here. High Point down 8-3 at this point. Going to open up here this final period. Grady Murphy here on the faceoff. Can't quite get it. And Alabama will open up with a possession here. Have a ton of shots as a shot right there. Try to go behind. Saved right there by Podolsky. And it's just been a really, really rough one here for this High Point team. And even with the 8 goals, I would say for the most part, this has not been on Zach Podolsky. He's done a pretty good job considering the circumstances.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think that the real issue for the Panthers so far this weekend has been the fact that they have not been able to set up when they've gotten it into the attacking zone. A lot of their pressure has been off the rush. And when they have gotten it into the zone, they haven't been able to set up. I think part of that is the fact that the defense is not getting as involved offensively as they need to be. But that being said, in the last 3 games coming into this weekend, the Panthers had scored 0, 1, and 2 goals. So 3 goals across 3 games. This weekend, they've scored 7 goals. They scored 4 yesterday. They've scored 3 today. So the offense is there, but they've got to tighten up on the defensive side of things.
100%. The offensive improvement, though, has been really, really nice to see. And obviously with the goalie play, for the most part, I feel like this has been a pretty encouraging weekend for High Point, even with the more than likely 2 losses.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. There's another big save for Podolsky. That one got a little help from the crossbar as well. But Podolsky has proven this weekend, in my eyes, that he can be that #1 goaltender that this team needs.
100%. There's been some capable shooters here. High Point takes a shot right there. That was Nick Fallon. Doesn't quite go his way, though. As Alabama will march this one here, that is Thomas York. He passes it out. That was Geiselhar who lost it. Now back out. It was Votts. Now High Point recovers it. Bounces it off a man's stick. Ian Brown now with the speed. He'll cut back out to the out. Tries to take a shot, and he goes over the goal! And he flips!
Oh, my gosh.
Is he okay?
Oh, I hope Ian Brown is okay. That was a scary-looking collision with the net right there.
Ian Brown. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, and he's going to get up and walk off under his own power. That is unreal.
That guy is an absolute dog. Wow. And I mean, he was going at 100 miles per hour. He flipped over. What's crazy is he almost scored on that play.
I'm speechless, yeah.
He almost scored. And is he out there still?
He's not even going to go to the bench. He's staying out for the remainder of the shift. That is unreal.
That is toughness. Wow. Okay. High Point going to win this face-off here. Nice opportunity for them. Shot taken a little bit high. Alabama will recover it. That is Warner. And he loses it. Recovered by High Point.
Good play, Riggio, to win that board battle.
And Riggio's had some nice showings here today. They'll get it back to him. Riggio.
The other thing that is encouraging to see from the offense for the Panthers is that on 3 goals, you have points recorded by 7 different Panthers. It's not one group that's doing it all.
And that is very, very encouraging to see. It's just seeing different guys step up and show that they can contribute to this team, because you can't just rely on 1 or 2 guys like Alabama showed last night. I mean, when you have a full team going out there. Oh, wow. Wow.
That's not a great one.
That was a leaky one right there. And that is just, when it rains, it pours. Number 15, Reed Ruddick in there. The North Carolina native getting in there for Alabama, and wow. I mean.
And that's what I'm talking about when I say that the defense needs to be more involved offensively for the Panthers. That kind of play from the blue line, a slap shot that just gets on goal. When High Point has shot from the blue line this weekend, it has not been, with the intent being to score. It's been to try to get a deflection or to just try to keep the puck moving behind the net. Those kinds of plays are things that keep goals going on the scoreboard, and you see it there from Alabama. Just get shots on net. You never know what'll happen. And while that's one that Podolsky will want back, you can't really say too much just given the number of shots that he's had to see. 51 shots on goal so far for the Frozen Tide. They had 59 yesterday. We still got 17 minutes left in the third.
And this is the 5th time this season that Alabama has recorded 9 or more goals. And in hockey, that is absolutely insane.
Yep, they have the offensive firepower to keep up with just about anyone at this level.
And an icing on the Crimson Tide right there. So an offensive zone faceoff for High Point, but at this point, you really just want to see somebody make a play. Give the fans, give the parents, give the kids something to hope on, because today just hasn't been a very good one. Obviously, after that first period, like I said, though, if you're High Point, just go out there and try to get something going, as they don't win that opening faceoff right there. But it gets back to them. Shot taken right there by number 55, Dorian Federo. And Federo's had a really decent amount of plays on defense where he's gone out and just put everything on the line. And nice to get him involved offensively.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that even going back to last year when he was with the D2 squad, he was always a very solid defensive defenseman. But getting involved offensively, if you can add that element to his game, that'll be huge for the Panthers.
100% right there. Is contested faceoff here. Alabama looking like, oh no, good collision right there. That was number 42, Drew Schleibner, with the contact. So now High Point tries to advance it, losing the puck. Right there was Tim Pearl.
Yeah, tried to feed it up to Sanderson, but just not on the mark.
And now High Point will get it back here. That is Davis Turner, who loses it immediately. Now off the stick of an Alabama player right there, as, oh, another collision right there. A whole lot of those these last two games, recovered by High Point. Trying to make a man miss was Joseph Marciota. He loses it. It'll go back down behind the net for Alabama. They'll get it out. And now that is Alex Brown, who had it for a second, now tries to knock it in there.
And they score.
Did they score?
Wow, I saw the puck cross the goal line there.
No word for the ref yet, and they will.
Wow, that ended up in the equipment. I thought Davis Turner had himself a goal.
Wow. Ugh. Just not one you want to remember if you're a High Point Panthers fan. But another offensive zone faceoff here for the Panthers. It'll be number 47, Will Pyatt, on the faceoff. And Alabama will recover that one. That was Henry Mayer.
I want to go back to that play from Turner and Alex Brown for a second.
Shot right there by Turner again. He's trying to get a goal. Nice hit right there.
Yeah, the
Alex Brown.
The forecheck from this line. That's something that the other lines just aren't doing right now from the Panthers. That chance came about because of the forecheck from Turner and Brown. And, you know, that's the chance that it created, and it was a great scoring opportunity for Turner, a player who, you know, nobody on this team has had a great weekend in terms of just offense, but you got to make something happen here regardless.
Ringstad takes a shot too far to the right-hand side, and Alabama's going to recover that. That was Geiselhart. Now, Votz loses it. He had it for a second, had a good chance, nothing but ice in front of him, as that is Nick Fallon, excuse me.
And good play by Turner to force that one back to the corner.
And now Ringstad recovers it. He'll just shoot it off the walls. Alabama will recover it in the neutral zone. Now picked up by High Point. That's Ringstad, who slips over, and he was trying to reverse field there as he knocks him in right into the wall. That was Morgan Brooks, the big guy he knocked in, as High Point is trying to recover it here, and they will. Back out to Ringstad. Oh, and a nice play right there by Ash Warner to get his hand on that puck. And that will be a stoppage play.
Yep, icing against the Frozen Tide, but that was a really good shift there defensively speaking. A lot of time hemmed in your defensive zone there for that unit, those 5 guys, and no real high danger scoring chances. Everything kept to the boards very well.
High Point with a substitution here, different line. Grady Murphy on the faceoff. He'll win it. Got it back out to, that was Evangelista who lost it. Alabama now recovering it. That is Mayer. He'll get it back up to Balthasar. And Brooks had it for a second, lost it. Murphy on the coverage. And now looking for Ripley. And Ripley's got it again. He loses it for a second, tries to get back up, and Alabama recovers it. Puck goes back to High Point. Pass was looking like it was going to go to Murphy, then Ringstad, but couldn't get it to either of them. Then a missed puck right there by Clark. Now an opportunity for Alabama, 1-on-2. Takes a shot and has a great save by Podolsky. Had basically 3 shooters and 1 defender to help him out, and did a really good job. Into the boards right there is Grady Murphy, able to get back up. Puck bounces off of it. Murphy setting a little bit of a pick, and they'll get it to him. Murphy takes a shot, and it's a little bit offline to the right-hand side. Recovered by High Points. And now Alabama is going to recover it here. Back out. And a little bit of an offline pass behind the goal. And they'll call an icing on that. Alabama back in their defensive zone. So High Point's going to get some reps here in this final third period on offense a little bit compared to what they were doing early on in the game. This is the first time they've had any sort of significant time on offense.
No, I agree, and I also agree with the coaching decision to send out this Ian Brown line. I've really liked the way that Gorski, Riggio, and Brown have played together. There are some positives you can take out of this weekend, and I think this group of 3 forwards is one for sure that you can take into next weekend's series against Georgia and keep that line moving in the right direction.
100%. Shot by Schneider didn't end up going the right way. He ends up just trying to get that one out of harm's way. Falls down while doing so. Recovered by Alabama. Contested puck right there. Shot taken and deflected. It's another save by Podolsky. He's been on point.
Wow, unreal.
Oh, McCary stole it. And Podolsky gets a hand on it, it looked like. That was Plamadon on the shot. He'll handle it again. Try to get it behind to his teammate. That's a shot taken. And, Podolsky falls on top of it. Mayer had an opportunity to try to get that one in there, but Podolsky continuing, for the most part, to be a brick wall.
Wow, he is making some incredible acrobatic saves. And for a bigger guy, you don't necessarily expect that out of him all the time. So just great stuff to see from him. 54 shots on goal to only 23 for the Panthers. But he's seen a lot of rubber, and he's still holding up to it here in the third.
And 54 to 23. I mean, last night, Alabama might have had like 10, 12 more shots than High Point. Tonight, it's been over 30, which is obviously the difference in this one. As handled by Brown, and after that collision he took, the fact that he's still out there just means a lot. Obviously, must to his teammates, just shows his toughness. As Ringstad will handle it there in the neutral zone. Goes back out to Fallon. Fallon to Ringstad. Ringstad, he was looking for Ripley, but couldn't quite get it to him. It was a little bit offline. And that'll be a new line in for High Point. Alabama will start up backed up. Try to get it to Warner. Now man's right to Morgan Brooks. Morgan Brooks handled it, couldn't quite get it to. Ash Warner tries to get into there, but he gets hit a couple times, loses possession of it. And now he's getting right into it. Oh, he goes down. He and number 7, Cameron Sanderson, were getting into it. And a shot taken right there by Warner. Doesn't get in there. Recovered by the Panthers. Fallon just tries to get out of harm's way. Now Brooks in the collision tried to recover. He can't quite recover. Now Alabama's got it back. Sprague behind the back. Back up top. Shot taken, and it is a little bit offline. And Podolsky was there either way. Now Brooks back up, and that will be
just barely offside.
Just an offsides call. So another opportunity for High Point in their offensive zone to try to get something going.
Or come out to the neutral zone, but you gotta try to make something happen here. This is the point in the game where, you're down by 6 with 10 minutes to go. Come back, not likely in the cards, but you do want to try to take some positives out. You want to try to make some good passing plays, some good teamwork. Try to score some team goals. You've done the individual stuff, the unassisted goals so far this season. Try to get some teamwork going and connect some chemistry that you can maybe take into the rest of the season. You got 6 games left, 2 against Georgia, and then 2 against Eastern Kentucky, 2 against William and Mary. So You got 6 more games to try to make something out of this season. Take some positives out of this weekend.
And there's been a lot of positive. There's been a lot of positives from this weekend for this High Point team. But yeah, at this point, you just kind of want to build some more positives.
Not worry about the negatives, because it's easy to dwell on those, but build upon the things that you have succeeded with this weekend.
And you're going up against one of the best teams in the country.
Yep.
So, I mean, this was not to say this was expected, but
a valiant effort
100%.
was put forward by the Panthers for sure.
100%. You got to feel pretty happy with how you had 4 really good periods of hockey against these guys.
Yeah, and the second period, it really fell apart today. You know, tied at 2 going into the second. That's just a tough look. But at the same time, you've got 2 games against Georgia next weekend. And by the way, those are going to be outdoors. That'll be pretty exciting for the Panthers. But Georgia and Alabama played each other earlier this year twice, and Alabama won both by 4 goals both times. So this is a team that, you know, you're competing against Alabama and playing tight with them. You're going up next weekend against a team that Alabama beat, so you got to feel pretty solid about your chances there.
And honestly, this period hasn't really been that bad for the Panthers either.
No, not at all. I mean, the only goal was that leaky one from the blue line by Alabama, and that's something that, you know, you shake it off, you move on.
And that's just one of those plays where it's almost a little bit fluky, because normally that wouldn't happen. As that was an impressive handling by the Panthers.
If there haven't been as many shots on goal by Alabama in this game as there have been, that one probably doesn't find its way to the back of the net.
100%, as Clark lost possession of it, goes back to Alabama. And High Point just trying to get it out of their own end. They will move it up. Murphy takes a shot, and that was way too high. I don't know where that puck went, but didn't go into the net. As Alabama will get some new, fresh feet on the ice. So will High Point. A shot taken, and it goes too high up into the net.
A good block with the stick there to keep that one from going on to Podolski. But again, trying to get out of your D zone. I think that faceoffs are one thing that has been much better today compared to yesterday.
100%. I mean, yesterday they couldn't win a face-off to save their lives.
You had some different guys taking draws at points today. I mean, Joey Riggio took a couple of face-offs on the power play. Ian Brown doing much better in the face-off circle compared to when he was on the wing yesterday.
You can't be too upset with this performance today for the most part. As that pass a little bit offline right there for Alabama. Oh, takes a shot. That was McGarry, and that's their team leader. That's their guy. Don't want to hit him a little bit too late.
Yeah, teammates are making sure to keep him separated from Dorian Federer there after the offside, as Federer just charged in, and hard to slow up when you're moving with that kind of speed, but luckily nothing comes out of it.
And it's crazy how much they've been able to produce today without their top guys really being involved.
Yep, McGarry not on the score sheet.
As taking it up right here, that is Schliebner. And puck goes behind the goal. That'll be an icing on the Panthers. It's going to be an ozone face-off for the Crimson Tide. As 7:43 left here in the third period, Alabama up 9-3, as you can see. And if you're High Point here, continuously just try to win these face-offs, just build some momentum. Ian Brown's going to come back out there. He's had a pretty nice weekend here.
Yeah, he's been a really big bright spot. I mean, his speed just creates so many chances all by itself offensively. He had a couple of games stint with the D2 squad, started out with D2, played at the very beginning of the season with D3, and then moved to D2 for a good while. And so, you know, that's a guy that you know you've got on your side moving forward. He has been healthy all season long. That's another positive. And I think that's one thing that you can really take out of this weekend for sure, is that you finally know what your team is capable of at full strength. And that being said, I mean, this team still really isn't even at full strength. You got injuries to guys like Steven Ismali and Andrew Lindauer. And as I say that, Dorian Federer goes down hard. He's not making his way to the bench yet.
And with how hard-hitting this series has been, and just with how it's gone, getting into it, McGarry, he was right in the middle of it. Some punches being thrown. That was, I believe, Federer being one of them, and now there's a whole scrum going on in the back.
The officials are just letting him go behind the net. This is ridiculous.
And, I mean, that's just – they might be throwing some guys out. We'll see, but that has just come to a head. Last night there was Very similar kind of skirmish. These two teams don't like each other. These players are frustrated. Alabama was frustrated last night. Today it's been more so High Point being frustrated with how things have gone. So if you're High Point, you just want to kind of avoid those if you can, because you don't want anybody getting hurt.
There's no need to get involved in stuff like that after the play.
Especially like at this point in the game, you're down by 6 goals, less than 7 minutes left. You just want to get up out of here and try to make some positives before you leave.
Well, another positive is that Zach Podolsky is now up to 51 saves. He saved 105 shots on the weekend.
Yeah, Podolsky's had a really, really strong weekend. You can't honestly look at this game.
And you can't look at the goal totals for the weekend and say, oh, Podolsky kind of lost the teams the game. I mean, you look at 6 goals against and 9 goals against, and you think the goaltending wasn't there. But no, that hasn't been the case. Podolsky has bailed out the Panthers in a lot of situations.
That's why you got to watch the game. Stats don't always tell you the truth. As Alabama will take this one from underneath and get it back up to Warner. And Warner will just take a shot right at Podolsky, and looks like he'll get off, as it'll give Alabama a bit of a chance to substitute some guys in and out. So High Point here, and it's going to be another ozone face-off for Alabama. But High Point,
I think the objective for the rest of this game is see what you can do in the offensive zone. You got to get out of your own zone to set up in the O zone, and that's been the problem. That there have been too many 50-50 puck battles that haven't been won. Too many plays like this where you have possession in your D zone and then are hemmed in because of the forecheck of the Frozen Tide, which, credit to them, has been unreal. But plays like that, you make that pass to try to break out, and it just ends up going nowhere in the neutral zone where it's slapped right back in by the Frozen Tide. You got to have clean breakouts if you're going to make offense happen at this level.
Well, they've been putting themselves into a lot of bad situations where you've done well before, but then you constantly put yourself in these hard spots to eventually where you're going to break. Bend but no break doesn't work all the time.
Correct.
It can only work for so long, and that's just the unfortunate part of that. As Alabama's just going to try to get this puck around, probably try and kill some clock off, as they will go underneath. Into the boards was Ringstad, and he's continuing to fight here. Just love to see the aggression and the fight that these guys have shown, even with the result pretty much being all but solidified. As behind the back, Alabama gets it back. Shot taken, and Podolsky, like a brick wall. Luckily it came from that angle, or he might have been in some trouble. Was a little bit too far to that side.
I think another thing that's contributed to Alabama's success in today's game compared to last night, as another good glove save for Podolsky, they only have taken 1 penalty in this game, and it was in the first period. High Point scored that first goal from Cam Sanderson on the power play, not even 5 minutes into the game. And since then, Alabama has stayed out of the box. Alabama 2 for 4 on the power play today, High Point 1 for 1. But High Point had 6 power plays last night. They really had a chance to set up and get some momentum going in the offensive zone because of those power plays. Even if they only scored on 1, the offensive zone time is something that built some momentum in their favor. You don't have that so far today.
100%. It's just been a complete flip-flop from yesterday. Alabama's been extremely disciplined today. They've been on point. They came in here today with a mission, and they've done that so far.
For sure, and it is so hard to win on day 2 of a road trip. I mean, we see it with every team at every level, whether it's the D2 Panthers, the D3 Panthers. Night 1 is most times your best chance to get a win on a road trip. After having that bus ride, you play a game, you go right back out and you play again the next day in a foreign environment. It's so difficult to win on day 2. And it's just something that High Point wasn't able to surpass here today.
And they've really struggled here in the neutral zone, especially High Point on offense. They have struggled to really get it out of the neutral zone and just set something up. I feel like most of the time they're just running up and down the ice and just trying to find somebody. But instead of doing it in a more organized way, they're just kind of throwing it up there, hoping someone's there.
Yeah, it's hope passes, just like that one right there. You have Nate Evangelista, as there's a save by Podolsky at the blue line in the D zone, and there's a puck going to him, but it's not a crisp pass. He's unable to cleanly break out of the zone. Alabama picks it right off at the red line, comes back in, takes a shot. You've got to have those crisp tape-to-tape passes in the neutral zone, in the D zone, to break out and really be able to set up. That's been something that has needed some work so far for the Panthers.
That's just been putting your goalie in a rough position. You don't want to do that.
But another thing that is positive, as we mentioned, the fact that all 4 lines have been able to really contribute. I've thought that Davis Turner has had a good third period. I thought that Alex Brown has had a good third period. The depth guys are really, really hustling. Everybody's hustling out there. It's not lazy hockey that's being played, and the effort is something that you can really take as a positive this weekend.
We've been able to call out a lot of different guys and say, hey, you're making a play. And usually that doesn't always happen. So, not usually, but that doesn't always happen. So,
well, it's also nice to know that you have that depth because, you know, these guys, there's been so many injuries, and it's just, oh, there's a nice cross-crease pass that couldn't catch Will Pyatt. But, you know, with the health problems that this team has had, you don't always know how people are going to bounce back when they come back from injury. And, you know, having a full 21 guys dressed for both games today, and all of them are competing at a high level, giving it their all, that's a positive for sure.
100%. I mean, it's very encouraging to see that and just see how this team has responded. And it hasn't really even been the new pieces that we talked about last night that we thought were going to be a big impact. And they've had some impact, but it's really nice to see that you've had guys who have been here who have been marinating on this team for a while and developing and just biding their time to be able to make a play.
Another good shift from this line, Pyatt, Turner, and Alex Brown. Pyatt with a good find to get Davis Turner to the slot, but just couldn't get a shot off on the backhand.
Alabama advancing it. They'll take a shot a little bit out wide for Padelski. Tried to go behind the back right there. Couldn't quite do so.
Yeah, and a good block from Turner.
And back into the boards goes High Point. And that puck goes up. Oh, he threw Ringstead down as Alabama once again going to possess this puck. And that's just been the story of this one. Alabama possession. Goal goes right into Padelski, or puck goes right into Padelski, and that will be High Point taking over here.
And for 2 nights in a row, Zach Padelski sets a new career high for save opportunities. Now 65 shots against him. So make it 56 saves, a new career high for him as well.
And yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough. He's been great tonight. It's been very encouraging to see that your top guy can go out there and produce like this, even with allowing 9 goals. I mean, that's just been due to the fact that Alabama's been on point and more so on the entire defense as a whole, not as your goalie.
And like you mentioned, they've scored ad nauseum this season. Like we mentioned, they put up 27 plus in each of their first 2 games of the year. So this is a team that could put the puck in the net. There's nothing to be ashamed about with allowing goals to a team like this.
100%. And he only allowed in 5 last night, which is really crazy to think about if you look at their game-by-game results.
Here we go.
Nice pass up there. Oh, that was not quite there. Had Riggio, but he gets tied up there.
We're under a minute to go here.
Just under a minute, yeah. See if High Point can get maybe one last second goal. Oh, had an opportunity. Gets another one there on the bounce back.
And this line has clearly built some chemistry today. They started the game out. They were on 3 different lines yesterday, but Ian Brown, Jonathan Gorski, Joey Riggio, you see it there from Riggio behind the net. He just knows where Ian Brown is going to be, finds him there.
And that is Sanderson, who had the goal earlier, trying to get that puck out. He takes a shot, and he gets his second of the day, Cam Sanderson. And even though they're still down by 5 goals, that definitely is going to make you feel a little bit better. Sanderson, really solid, nice day today here. And your High Point. That's just something nice to build on here.
No, absolutely. And for Sanderson, that's his first multi-goal game, second multi-goal game of the season. His 3rd and 4th goals of the year. So when he scores in bunches, and it's something you can take home for sure. Nice little multi-goal game for Sandy.
100%. It's great to see that you have 2 guys in Grady Murphy and Cam Sanderson who have had multi-score games this weekend. So love to see that, as Alabama will just end up winding out the rest of this clock. And that will do it here in Pelham, Alabama at the Pelham Center. The Alabama Ice Tide will defeat the High Point Panthers here 9-4. And I'm Luke Lee here with Graham Tucker, and that was just it's been a great opportunity to call these games here with you this weekend. And it's just been awesome here to see this High Point team come out here to Alabama and just compete, play their butts off, and shout out to Alabama to go out and have 2 really nice performances on their part. And That's all I can really say. You got anything else to add, Graham?
Yeah, I just want to say I really enjoyed seeing the competition level, the competitiveness out of the D3 guys this weekend. They had a really tall task in front of them. The number 11 team in AAU D3 with Alabama. Anytime you're going against a College Hockey South team, you know it's going to be a tall task. And these guys didn't back down. They played to the end every single game. They took it all the way to an empty net situation. Last night, you score a goal in the final minute here, down by quite a bit, but tied at 2 going into the second. This team skated right with Alabama for 4, I'd even say 5 of the 6 periods this weekend. They skated with them in all 3 periods yesterday, the first and the third today. The goals 1-1 in the third period, 2-2 in the first period, and that 5-goal differential in the second, really what did High Point in this weekend. So you look at the game scores, 6-4, 9-4. It looks bad, but if you watch the tape, if you look at what these guys are producing and putting together, this is a weekend that you can take a lot of positives out of and build upon as you take on Georgia, another College Hockey South team next weekend.
Couldn't have said it better myself here. So I'm Luke Lee, your Graham Tuck, and we will be back here. Not we will, but High Point D3's men team will be back at Georgia next weekend, and that'll be it.